So hey, are you trying your best to describe a location in your work in progress and you feel like you might as well be talking about a cardboard box? Are you writing dialogue but it keeps coming out as flat and tedious? Then you're in luck. Hi, I'm author Garrett K. Jones, and this month on Creator's Corner, I'm discussing tips for location descriptions and dialogue tags. I try to make new content every week, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Happy weekend! Before I get into the core of this week's vlog, I want to remind you all that tomorrow is the Hanford Toy Anime Con. The event will be held at the Fraternal Hall located at 1015 North 10th Avenue in Hanford. Doors open from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. with tickets selling for $7 at the door. Kids 12 and under are free, and so is the parking. I'll be there selling copies of all 4 books, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you out there.
Ooh. The Phantom of the Novel. Coming to haunt the pages of my retina. Jeez, what the hell am I doing?
So location descriptions are kind of a big deal when generating the setting of a story. The environment of the story is just as important as the plot and the characters. In many cases, characters are defined by their environments just as much as environments are impacted by the characters inhabiting them. But how best to describe a location? What I have found works best for me is when I engage all 5 senses using specific word choices to invoke those senses. Readers should be able to hear, see, feel, smell, and yeah, even taste the environment.
Do you say the night was humid? Or do you say the night was moist? That's writing.
The night was sultry. I'm getting the hell out of here. Too goddamn sultry in here.
Where you going? I'm gonna kill the bitch.
In Throw Mama from the Train, Billy Crystal works as a writer, and he's trying to open his book in one of the most cliche methods. The night was. He tries to invoke heat and humidity, and he's looking for words that best do that until the titular mama randomly throws out the word sultry on the train. When you hear that word, one immediately thinks of the temperature being warm, humid, maybe even tropical. Think Florida, Central America, or where I've been this last week, Hawaii. Speaking of Hawaii, I took a tour of the Waimea River Valley and stopped specifically at the Fern Grotto. The air felt wet, sticky, and hot. Sultry. It smelled clean, old, and earthen, the fragrances of scores of different species of flora. I heard a creek flowing quickly and loudly down the hillside, the sound tricking my mind to make me think I needed to pee. I saw lush, verdant landscapes overtaking precariously placed boulders, breaking through the pavement of the walkways and invading my personal bubble. I tasted salt left over from a dip in the ocean hours before, mixing with the dryness of my mouth and throat, desperately needing rehydration. So do you see what I did there? I described 7 different senses. I described how it felt, how it smelled, how it sounded, how it looked, and how it tasted. Those are the typical 5 senses, but I invoked 2 others. The sense of imagination, how things could be, as well as the sense of thirst, describing the location plays back to something I talked about in previous Creator's Corner segments, where I discussed showing versus telling. But there are some things to keep in mind. Depending on the POV you use in writing, that can color the perspective you're using. If you write from a first-person perspective, saying I or me or my, you can use a bit more telling because you're writing either from the position of your experiences or a character's. If you're writing from a second-person or third-person POV, the more tangible detail you can describe, the better. Dialogue tags are kind of necessary because they indicate who is doing the talking and how the dialogue is spoken. As adults, it's hard for us to read through books written for little kids where characters only say or ask something. In more mature content, dialogue is not only said, it's stated, shouted, yelled, whispered, hissed, declared, or simply spoken. In mature content, questions aren't asked, they are queried, inquired, implied, inferred, and pondered. The same thing goes for internal monologues. Pondering occurs, as does musing, ruminating, wondering, and meditating. What's really important is distinguishing who is talking and when. If you have 1 or more characters in conversation, the use of dialogue tags is necessary to help determine which character is speaking. If it's just 2 characters going back and forth, you can use the tags to determine the order for the first few statements before firing off each line of dialogue in sequence. It might be a bit more complicated with more than 2 characters. My best advice is to play around with the material to get what you think is a good flow. Here's another author that I will be interviewing for Author Awareness. This is Michelle Keener, the 4th author being interviewed this next month. So that's it for this week's vlog. Tomorrow I'll be at the Hanford Toy Anime Con and I'll be posting photos and videos from the con. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe to my channel for future videos. If you would like to support videos like this, click the link in the description below to go to my Patreon page with support tiers of $1, $3, and $5 per month. Each tier comes with 24 hours early access to the vlogs before they become available on YouTube, plus other sweet perks. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for all my socially acceptable thoughts, and I'll see you next week for Forming Fantasy.